In the New York Times Siena poll, President Biden trails you-know-who in 5 of the 6 key battleground states. Meanwhile, some prominent Democrats,
some prominent Democrats are looking if President Biden is the right candidate. Let's see their own point of view that they give.
This is a race about democracy and the state of our democracy and the survival of our democracy. And that's the threat on the other side here. And I know how deeply the president feels about that. So he just has to ask himself, is this the best path? I suspect that he will say yes. But time is fleeting here, and this is probably the last moment for him to do that check. And it's probably good if he does.
In point of view, looking at the polls, to Whoopi, basically, she doesn't really believe in polls because polls is not talking about basically like the entire nation. It's just specific people, and which is not the real result to her. She talks about Hillary Clinton was winning one time in the poll, and later what happened, and she loses everything. So basically to her, she doesn't really believe in the poll. She asks the opinion of the other people. They claim, some of them say that they went ahead and talk about that Donald Trump, Biden really have to be careful. He has to be watchful because Biden can easily lose to President Donald Trump because of everything that is happening. So the candidate, like the Democrat, who are highly respected, are just coming out to talk to Biden as a person. And to be very careful. You should not take President Donald Trump for granted because anything can happen. He can also win. And they went ahead and talk about their different point of view again about that. They are surprised that some people are still voting for Donald Trump. Obviously, you have people that will vote for anybody. People still have their different choices. No matter what people do, people have their different perspective about life. So, no matter what happens, so let's watch and look more into what they are talking about.
well, you know how I feel about polls because I just feel like, you're polling 4,000 people in a place and you can't tell me that's half the nation. All you can tell me is that, we polled 4,000 people and that's how they felt. Mm-hmm. So I always like to make sure that we're clear on polls. Because remember, last time we checked a poll, they had Hillary Clinton winning. Mm-hmm. They also had a big red wave coming, yeah. And it was kind of more like a than a like a red. Yeah, it was a little. It was like a pink ripple. Yeah. Yeah. So. I'm not sure what my question is, but what do you think of it?
Listen, polls aren't perfect, and I was a victim of thinking the red wave was coming, and it certainly didn't materialize. But I do think there's enough here that it needs to be a wake-up call to Democrats that Donald Trump could beat Joe Biden. Rachel Maddow, one of the, I think, smartest Democrats I can think of, said it here on our airwaves. My friend David Axelrod, he loves...
They went ahead that the only way for them to win, that Democrat to win, Democrats have to go out, tell people to vote, talk about what they have accomplished, because that's what Republicans are doing. They're telling people what they accomplished and what they will accomplish, but somehow Democrat is laid behind, and which is giving way for President Donald Trump and the Republicans to go ahead. So it's a wake-up call to them. If they don't wake up, President Donald Trump is going to win fatly towards Biden. So they have to get up, they have to wake up. And they talk about that the Sony claimed that she has peace because during the poll, some people trying to explain that President Donald Trump is going to prison, and in prison he cannot really rule the world. So she was so happy because of that fact that he still have people who don't even believe in him. Some people knows he's going to jail, and so basically, she's very excited about that. Basically, that's what she thinks. So
Joe Biden. He wants Joe Biden to win. He is warning because he knows the threat that Donald Trump poses to the nation. And I think when you have such a plurality of prominent Democrats, you've got, James Carville, David Ignatius, Congresswoman Jayapal warning about this. It's because they're thinking about the future of the country if it is under Donald Trump. And I just want to say this. I think there's this misconception, and I fall victim to it too now as somebody who no longer supports Trump, that Trump voters are just people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th. They're not. We walk by them every day. They're tens of millions of Americans. A lot of my family members are literally only not voting for Trump because he's called me mean names, and they'll be like, my 401k was better, my grocery prices were cheaper then. That is a reality. There are tens of millions of people who still support him. I spent a lot of time in Florida and New Hampshire, and there is an energy there. So I think I'm focused on the Republican primary, which is looking bleak, but there is a very real reality that Joe Biden could lose to Donald Trump, and I think Democrats need to take it seriously.
I would tend to agree. I'm shocked that people still are supporting this probable criminal. But what I will say, there's a brighter side to this, because further on in the poll, what people did say is about 6% of voters in battleground states, enough to swing the result of the election, they said they would abandon their support for Trump if he were convicted on charges related to the January 6th Capitol riot and sentenced to prison. Now, I don't know how you run the presidency from prison, but at least those people realize that if he is convicted of trying to just subvert our democracy, he should not be the president of the United States. So that gives me comfort in this country. It gives me comfort in the people that were polled.
So I went back and I looked at what the New York Times.
To Sarah particularly, she thinks that the Republicans should focus on Haley because she could be a better person that could even win Biden more than Trump. To her, basically, but from the poll, Haley is downward compared to Donald Trump. Basically, to Woody, she said she wants people to see that this is what went wrong, and I can do this to fix. She don't just want people to come and say this is wrong, and they don't come out with a solution. Basically, someone is either you're going to be a Republican or you're going to be a Democrat. So people are going to actually vote for one, and everybody have their personal reason. So what do you really think about the poll? Do you believe that, do you believe in those polls that because from what they are saying, they don't actually believe in those polls? Anything can happen. So what is your own point of view? Do you believe in those polls that for real, those are the real numbers, or you waiting for the finally before you give your own point of view? Because what do you really think? Do you support that the polls really help to bring out those numbers, or the polls is just a political campaign strategy, as I said? Let me know your own suggestion on the comment section. And who do you think can be a better person? Do you think Biden is going to be a better person, or do you think Donald Trump? Let me see your own opinion on the comment section and your reason why. Thank you very much for watching. If you have not subscribed, please do not forget to subscribe and help share the video. God bless you.